Hello tacticians and strategists, Templars and space pilots, welcome back to Templar Battleforce and playing hardball. And well, this is indeed becoming a let's play now, but well, let's just appreciate it. It's a nice game. We met Broodmothers and threw bombs down the ship of the Xenos and destroyed it, and now our righteous fallen is free again. Well, and we are repairing it. Let's deploy. Let's see what happens now. Ah. That is our ship, the Bridge of the Righteous Fallen. With the loss of the Ea Prima against the Xeno, the Righteous Fallen is the home of the last Templars in this quadrant. As the Star Traders begin the founding and set down on new worlds, we will be in constant demand. I should meet with Major Luthor to determine my squad's next assignment. Welcome to the friendly zone on the Righteous Fallen Bridge, our first secure zone. We will reach secure zones after each chapter of the campaign. In these areas we will be able to meet with other characters in the quadrant and learn more about the unfolding story. Most importantly, when we are ready, we will make choices that determine our next mission or how to approach that mission. Major Luthor has options for us, so let's talk to him when we are done exploring. At any time, we can go to use the Go to HQ button to return to our Battleforce HQ, where we can spend requisition and level and equip our veterans. Okay. There's a lot of xeno slime around here, huh? Well, but we bet the beasts. There's a small person over there. And this one, well, let's talk to the Major first. What is the status of the founding? Rykard has settled 3 worlds and Moklumne has settled 2, having had 1 less colony hive. In the few months since the battle, great progress has been made. But there's always trouble. The factions are already jockeying for power. As early as the founding of Rykard Prime, they were at each other's throats. And although we've defeated the Xeno attack, they will be back and our forces are spread thin. But as our people say, death before dishonor. We must fight on, regardless the odds. Okay. Is there any word of other Templar ships nearby? With the stellar beacons now raised from Moklumne and Rykard Prime, we have hope that other Templar vessels will hear the call. We are certainly drawing in other Star Trader refugees. Prince Alexander of Rykard just alerted me that a 4th Rykard colony hive has appeared out of the void, coming to the beacon. So there will be a new colony. Very soon, yes. And what assignments do you have for my Battleforce, Major? We have a report that one of the ships destroyed in the battle with the Xeno, the Ferrari lands, may have survivors on it. Someone needs to deploy there and investigate. Also, Prince Tarquin Rykard of Galantia Cross is reporting concerning atmospheric activity on his new colony. Okay. Well, before this one, this seems to be the new missions. Let's firstly talk to the others who are around here. Who's this? We see a new battle armor. Well met, Hardball. I have heard much of your exploits in the battle on the lower decks of the Righteous Fallen. Major Luthor made a sage decision, promoting you on the field of the battle. You have earned it and more. I am Narvidian, a Paladin Templar. Aha, Paladins are considered the historians of the Templars. Many say that, but each Templar carries the history of the Order in our lineages. And although we may not have any on this strike cruiser, there are Templar historians. Not every Templar is a Leviathan pilot. You don't say. Tell me more about the Templar lineages. The lineage is the sacred gift of our Zendu bloodline. When a Zendu woman gives birth to a child, the memories of both parents are passed on to the infant. Every Templar, both male and female, knows the gift of lineage. It is the greatest treasure, and we must guard it until we pass it to the next generation. The memories of the lineage are deep and vast, in some cases millions of hours. They are like a muscle memory, giving us amazing abilities and reflexes. When presented with the situation, how likely is it that a Templar has seen it before because of his or her lineage? Because of this, some humans have come to believe that Templars have the gift of prescience, but it is not true. Or prescience, but it is not true. Ah, Sergeant Cathos is also a Templar. Yes, every member of the Templar Order shares the Xeno bloodline. You and I, we are warriors. Our lineages gift us with millions of hours of combat training. Most importantly, we gained the knowledge and muscle memory to be able to pilot a Leviathan battle mech in war. Without this knowledge, these things would be impossible to use in battle. But for a Templar like Cathos, his lineage has granted him millions of hours of working with communications equipment, reading sensor scans, and helping to coordinate battle operations. Each Zendu, from an engineer to a mechanic, hails from a bloodline that prepares them for their role in the Order. And what is the Zendu bloodline? Before the Great War with the Guild, our people spent hundreds of generations exiled on the ice planet Maldirex. The Star Traders believed the Zendu destroyed. In the harsh and unforgiving environment, they egged out alive and passed on every learned technique and advantage they could to their children. What our ancestors did not know was that Maldirex was a special place, a bioforming world. Our time there changed us forever. Humans living upon bioforming worlds developed the Zendu bloodline. Before the war with the Guild, there is history of Zendu bloodlines originating from other worlds settled by Star Traders. What the fate of these people is, I know not. Oh, that is intriguing. So, and tell us more about the Prophet Shalun. Ardok Shalun came among the Templars at a time when he was needed most. During this time, the Guild and their Dark Masters, the Narvidians, were persecuting and enslaving the Star Traders. Shalun was a refugee from a destitute mining family, but he was a born leader. He introduced the Leviathan battle mech to the warriors of our people. At the time, they were designed only for deep space mining. With Shalun as our general, leading a Zendu army of Templar knights, our people threw off their chains. Free, the Star Traders fought the Guild in earnest. In the end, though, war bred only destruction. The galactic core is a charred ruin. And why did our people start the Exodus? Our homeworlds and the entire galactic core were decimated in a great war. The Star Traders and the Templars fought the Guild and their Dark Masters, the Narvidians. In the end, the war led to mutual annihilation. Entire planets were destroyed. In the aftermath of a great victory, the leader of the Templars, Shalun, led the great Exodus. We took to the stars and went in search of a new home. Unfortunately, many of us have become lost or fell behind the main convoy. Maybe all these stragglers can be found somewhere. And if a Templar dies without passing on his or her lineage, such a death is terribly sad, and that branch of the lineage ends forever. Okay, that is a strong argument to make babies, right? Especially to make babies before going into combat. I hope we have some babies already. So, who's this? It appears to be a person without a battle mech armor. With so few Templars, who is helping secure the faction colonies? Ah yeah, so this is our sergeant. Rykard and Moklumne are forging ahead. They aren't waiting for our help. It's a risk on their side, but they do have their own militaries. And the sooner they can expand their colonies and build a fleet of ships, the safer we will all be. And where are we now exactly? We are currently in orbit of Moklumne Prime. We are relying on their shipwrights to repair the massive damage the Righteous Fallen has sustained. As you can see from the state of the bridge, we have a long way to go. And what progress have the Star Traders made in founding new colonies? The princes of Rykard and Moklumne have wasted no time in claiming worlds. Each of the colony halves has sat down on a world, and we now have 5 new colonial worlds. Has the founding gone that smoothly? Aside from the dispute about what is now Rykard Prime and the trouble on Galantia Cross, well, things have gone pretty well, actually. What dispute were you talking about? If it had not been for the xeno attack, we would have continued the exodus and sought out better worlds. All of the nearby planets that are even habitable, their quality is low on the Celestine scale. You mean they are all desert worlds? Yes, they are habitable, but barely. And the dispute? Prince Alexander Rykard and Prince Damien Lumorth of Moklumne disputed the ownership of the planet that is now Rykard Prime. Both claimed founding rights. It is clearly the best planet in the quadrant. In the end, Rykard won, but it won't be easily forgotten. Well, or forgiven, knowing the factions. And, well, the colonies will grow slowly, won't they? Unlikely. Once Rykard Prime and Moklumne Prime were founded, they raised the stellar beacons. The factions have reported that they've already intercepted and accepted 22 refugee ships. Where are they coming from? The Great Exodus Templar. So many were lost during the Exodus, left behind or cut off from the main colony hives and the main Templar fleet. In fact, our new colonies are just that. We are a splinter group. We are a lost quadrant. And now with the beacons raised, other lost star traders will find us by the thousands. And so the colonies will grow. Well, with so many colonies being founded and so many settlers pouring in, we'll be stretched very thin, won't we? We must rely on our lineage and on each other. Well, yes, death before dishonor. Shalun favors the brave. And, well, tell me again about that trouble on Galantia Cross. You'd better talk to the Major about that. Okay, well, then see you later. With some spice beer, I guess. So there. And we are finished with her. So there's nothing else here. Right? We can't do anything there, right? No. No computers to be used. Okay, it's just talking then. Why Moklumne over Rykard? Of the two factions, Moklumne has long history with shipbuilding. They are galactic traders, consummate merchants. Their ships are the engine of that life. The Rykard Syndicate is known for their political aspirations and wrangling, and spies. Ha! How long will we remember these prejudices? May we make a new start here in this quadrant. Well, and what about the Xeno, actually? Well, I guess they are gone for the moment. Well, and what more can you tell us about the trouble on Galantia Cross? The Prince of the Rykard colony Tarquin has sent us warnings of very concerning atmospheric disturbances. For all of the colonies, Galantia Cross is the closest to the field of space debris left over from the battle with the Xeno. Xeno are resistant to the vacuum of space. Yes. Therefore, it is possible that there are pieces of the Xeno carriers that are still alive in some sense. Tarquin reports confirm that the solar drift has changed, and much of the debris from the space battle is burning up in the thin atmo of his new world. But if something larger, xenospores, fell onto the world, Prince Tarquin is requesting that we deploy a battle force of Templars to his capital city. Well, being on the ground will limit our ability to respond to the threat. It is the Prince's request, and his concern is primarily for city safety at this point. However, there is a second option. I can arrange to have Sergeant Cathos accompany you there in a spear cutter and drop ships. From orbit, you'd be able to deploy your squad directly to a landing site if and when a Xenospore pod makes it through re-entry. Okay. And what else can you tell us about the wreck of Ferrari lands? In the Battle of Serm with the Terrock Xeno, the Ferrari lands took a direct hit to its hull and vented. All hands were lost. The wreck of the Ferrari drifted through space and eventually fell into orbit of a dead planet, Excanium. While looking for salvageable materials, an entrepreneurial Star Trader captain did a sweep of the hulk. He reported 2 troubling facts. First, there are signs of xeno activity on board. That was enough to dissuade the good captain from taking his crew down to investigate further. Second, one of the ship's void reactors is running, and there's a section of the ship that is still pressurized with running life support. Then there are survivors, or there could be. The Ferrari Lance was an exploration and research vessel. If there was anyone who could survive an event like that, it would be them. With the obvious xeno activity on the hulk, it would be a dangerous rescue mission, but only the Templar Knights will be capable of pulling it off. If we deploy our battle force to the Ferrari, there will be 2 ways we can approach the mission. The first would deploy us near the auxiliary airlock. We'll have to defend an area while our engineer gets the airlock open. The second option would deploy us on the starboard side in a larger section of access bridges. From there, we could march to the explorer's airlock. Okay. Yeah, that's actually, these are interesting choices. I think we should firstly go to that ship, because if there are survivors, of course, time is of the essence. And that's that. Also, if there are xeno on the ship, they might breed. Yeah. While whatever comes down on the planet, I mean, it would be bad, but it would be damaged. So I guess there we have a little bit more time. So let's do the Ferrari Lance first. So staging a holding action near the auxiliary airlock, or marching across the open deck to the explorer's airlock. The deck could be crawling with yeah, with xeno, right? But then at least we can see them. Yeah, let's do this one. And speaking of role-playing, I think I already had done this one here, the holding action near the auxiliary airlock. So this is then for me personally more interesting, because I don't know the mission at all. So let's take this one. Let's deploy to the Ferrari Lance. We will march across the open deck to the explorer's airlock, as it is honorable for the Templar Knights, right? I will arrange for Sergeant Cathos to accompany you on a spear cutter. You'll have some hostile territory to cross, but once you reach the explorer's airlock, you should be able to enter the Ferrari Lance quickly. Good. Airlock pinpointed. Priority secure and hold. Lost in the Battle of Serm. The Ferrari Lance was the first vessel lost in the Battle of Serm. Raked by the Terror's guns and vented its hull, all hands were supposedly lost. But a Star Trader had discovered evidence to the contrary. If there are survivors, they are hardy, ingenious people. Many months have passed, and yet they may survive. Oh, so long, okay. They deserve to be rescued regardless of the risk. Yeah, let's do that. But I am actually thinking, my dear fellow Templars, tacticians and strategists, as we have had an insight into the lore of the game and made this decision, I think this is also a good point to talk about the game a little bit. So now we know, especially like in the context of Star Traders, the next game, how nice it is, how they created this atmosphere, you know, the whole world and stuff. And I really like it, I have to say it. I really like it. I mean, if you watched the review I did on Star Traders, I mean, they made the decision to have this 2D side view battle system, which I personally really didn't warm up to. Unfortunately, it would have been great for me personally if they had done something like here with the Templar Battleforce, you know, like looking down on the Templars or other units, you know, and being more flexible and have a real world. That would have been so cool and nice. I would have loved that. But well, maybe in another game. But here, yeah, I think I really like this. But I think we also end the episode here, because here this was more talking, background information. We made the decision. We also, oh well, actually no, that was what we did after the last mission, right? So with the requisition and veterans. But yeah, it's fine, I guess. So, but by the way, I wanted to use the, oh yeah, okay, it's already red. Yeah, let's have a red one. Okay then, so pyro. Yeah, but before we begin, or we'll begin and start this mission in the next episode. So thank you for watching. I hope you liked this one and you think the same. If you wish to share any thoughts, please do so in the comment section. I would appreciate that. Yeah, and then see you next time. Thank you for watching, and I appreciate if you click the like button, and you are very welcome to join the channel as well if you haven't done so yet, so you never ever miss an episode again. See you next time. Bye bye.